Welcome back to our channel for another deep dive into the explosive, glamorous, and utterly ruthless world of the bold and the beautiful. Today is a thrilling day to unpack the latest corporate espionage, family betrayal, and psychological warfare tearing through the heart of Los Angeles. Let us explore the shifting allegiances and the bitter rivalries that define our favorite fashion dynasties. The sleek, modern corridors of the Logan Fashion House have recently become the epicenter of a massive corporate war, a battleground where family loyalties are tested and billion-dollar legacies hang in the balance. Katie Logan Spencer and Bill Spencer have poured their blood, sweat, and tears into building this new empire, utilizing the legendary designs of Eric Forster to launch a global phenomenon. The atmosphere within the building is electric, buzzing with the thrill of victory and the constant, suffocating pressure of impending retaliation from Forster Creations. Into this high-stakes environment steps Will Spencer, freshly wounded from his unceremonious and unjust termination at the hands of Ridge Forster and R.J. Forster. Will has found a new home at the Logan brand, but his transition from Forster exile to Spencer executive is fraught with deep-seated paranoia, protective rage, and an overwhelming desire to shield his mother's life's work from any potential threats. Will's protective instincts are operating on a razor-thin edge, his senses heightened by the betrayals he has already endured. He knows firsthand how manipulative and ruthless the Forster family can be, having been a victim of RJ's toxic jealousy and Ridge's cold corporate calculations. Because of this lingering trauma, Will views every shadow, every whispered conversation, and every closed-door meeting with intense suspicion. He is determined to be the ultimate guardian of the Logan brand, a fiercely loyal son who will not allow anyone to undermine the monumental success Katie has achieved. It is this exact state of hypervigilance that sets the stage for a catastrophic internal collision, one that threatens to shatter the fragile unity of the Spencer family from the inside out. The inciting incident occurs in the quiet, secluded corners of the executive suite, far away from the bustling design rooms and the flashing cameras of the PR department. Will happens to be walking past a partially open office door when he catches sight of his cousin, Hope Logan Spencer. Hope, who recently made the shocking and highly publicized decision to defect from Forster Creations to the Logan brand, is engaged in a clandestine phone call. Her voice is dropped to a frantic, hushed whisper, her body language radiating an intense, nervous energy that immediately triggers Will's internal alarms. He stops in his tracks, his heart pounding against his ribs as he strains to hear the details of the covert conversation taking place just a few feet away. As Will listens from the shadows, the fragmented pieces of Hope's whispered dialogue begin to form a terrifying picture in his mind. He realizes, with a sickening jolt of clarity, that Hope is speaking to a former employee of Forster Creations. The specific names, the hushed references to corporate strategies, and the desperate tone of her voice ignite a firestorm of suspicion within Will. In his mind, there is absolutely no legitimate reason for Hope, the newly crowned jewel of the Logan brand, to be having secretive, panic conversations with anyone connected to the rival empire they are actively trying to destroy. The puzzle pieces snap together in Will's head, forming a narrative of ultimate betrayal that sends a surge of pure, unadulterated rage coursing through his veins. Will's suspicion instantly explodes into a blinding fury. He completely bypasses any logical benefit of the doubt, his mind jumping straight to the most devastating conclusion possible. Hope is a double agent. He convinces himself that Hope's highly publicized defection to the Logan brand is nothing more than an elaborate, sickening ruse. In Will's eyes, Hope is pretending to align herself with Katie and Bill, using their resources, their platform, and their trust to orchestrate a massive sabotage plot from the inside. He believes that her ultimate goal is to destroy the Logan brand's upcoming launch to win favor with Ridge Forster, proving her undeniable worth to Forster Creations so that she can secure the triumphant return of her beloved Hope for the future line. Unable to contain his boiling anger for a single second longer, Will bursts into the office, his sudden appearance shattering the secretive atmosphere like a pane of glass. Hope gasps, hastily ending the phone call and spinning around to face her cousin, her eyes wide with shock and a flicker of unmistakable guilt. Will does not hold back. He launches into a ferocious, blistering verbal assault, his voice echoing off the walls of the executive suite. He accuses Hope point-blank of being a traitor, a corporate spy planted by Forrester Creations to dismantle his mother's empire from within. He outlines his entire theory with venomous precision, detailing how he believes she is using Katie's love and Bill's resources as a sacrificial pawn in her twisted psychological game with Ridge and Steffy Forrester. The emotional intensity of Will's accusation is staggering. He stands before Hope not just as a newly minted executive, but as a son fiercely protecting his mother's legacy. He reminds Hope of the immense sacrifices Katie has made, the sleepless nights, the legal risks, and the sheer willpower it took to build the Logan brand into a global contender. Will's voice cracks with raw, unfiltered emotion as he declares that he will not allow anyone, absolutely anyone, to use his mother's life's work as a stepping stone for their own selfish, manipulative personal schemes. The fact that the perceived threat is coming from his own cousin, a member of the extended Logan and Spencer family, only deepens the profound sense of betrayal tearing at his soul. With his jaw clenched and his eyes blazing with righteous fury, Will delivers a devastating ultimatum. He demands that Hope pack her belongings, clear out her desk, and leave the Logan Company premises immediately. He asserts his authority, channeling the ruthless, uncompromising energy of his father, Bill Spencer, to protect the family business. Will makes it abundantly clear that he considers Hope a toxic, dangerous liability, a ticking time bomb of corporate espionage that must be neutralized before she can inflict any permanent damage on Katie's highly anticipated fashion launch. He stands his ground, a formidable barrier between his mother's dreams and the cousin he now views as a venomous snake in the grass. Hope is initially paralyzed by the sheer force of Will's rage, her mind struggling to process the magnitude of the accusations being hurled at her. She has just sacrificed her entire legacy at Forrester Creations, enduring months of Steffi's condescending mockery and Ridge's apathetic leadership, only to make the agonizing, life-altering choice to defect to the Logan brand. To be called a traitor, a double agent, and a saboteur by her own family member is a devastating slap in the face. As Will's harsh words sink in, Hope's initial shock rapidly morphs into a fierce, defensive indignation. She straightens her posture, her own eyes flashing with a defiant, unyielding fire as she prepares to counterattack. Hope vehemently denies Will's outrageous claims, her voice trembling with a mixture of anger and profound hurt. She challenges his authority to kick her out of the building, reminding him that she was personally hired by Katie and Bill, and that she has a legally binding contract to launch her new fashion line under the Logan banner. She refuses to be bullied or intimidated by Will's aggressive posturing, pointing out that she left Forrester Creations because she was suffocating under Steffi's tyranny, not because she was executing some convoluted, Machiavellian plot to win back Ridge's approval. Hope insists that her commitment to the Logan brand is absolute, and that her secretive phone call was related to securing her own independent future, not sabotaging Katie's. The confrontation reaches a fever pitch when Hope aggressively challenges Will to provide tangible proof of his wild accusations. She steps closer to him, closing the physical distance between them as she demands that he produce a single shred of hard evidence to support his theory of corporate espionage. She dares him to show her the emails, the text messages, or the recorded conversations that prove she is a double agent working for Ridge Forrester. Hope knows that Will is operating purely on paranoia, lingering trauma, and gut instinct, and she weaponizes his lack of concrete proof to dismantle his argument. She coldly informs him that until he has actual evidence of her treason, he has absolutely no right to question her loyalty or demand her termination. This explosive demand for proof leaves Will momentarily staggered, though his internal convictions remain entirely unshaken. He knows what he heard. He knows the secretive, guilty look he saw in Hope's eyes, and he deeply trusts his own instincts regarding the manipulative tactics of anyone associated with Forster Creations. However, he is acutely aware that bringing these accusations to Katie and Bill without ironclad evidence could backfire spectacularly, potentially making him look like a paranoid, jealous newcomer trying to eliminate the company's star designer. The psychological standoff between the two Spencers is palpable, the air thick with unspoken threats, unresolved resentment, and a profound, lingering distrust that will not easily be erased. The immediate fallout of this bitter confrontation is a deep, agonizing rift within the Spencer family dynamic. Bill Spencer has been actively dreaming of a united, unstoppable family empire, bringing Wyatt, Liam, Will, and Hope together under one corporate roof to wage an all-out war against Forster Creations. Now, that beautiful dream is fracturing from the inside out. The irony is deeply tragic. While Bill and Katie are focused on external threats and looming lawsuits from Eric Forster, the most dangerous, destructive conflict is brewing right in their own executive suites. The Spencer family unity is revealed to be a fragile illusion, highly susceptible to paranoia, miscommunication, and the toxic, lingering influence of their rivals. For Katie Logan Spencer, the impending revelation of this feud presents a devastating, impossible dilemma. When she inevitably learns of the explosive clash between her son and her star designer, she will be forced to navigate a terrifying emotional minefield. On one hand, she has Will, her beloved son, who is fiercely, passionately trying to protect her legacy from perceived threats. On the other hand, she has Hope, her niece, and the creative visionary she desperately needs to ensure the long-term survival and dominance of the Logan brand. Katie will be caught in the agonizing crossfire of their mutual hatred, forced to play peacekeeper in a corporate war that has suddenly become deeply, uncomfortably personal. As the dust settles on their initial confrontation, Will and Hope are left locked in a bitter, silent Cold War within the walls of the Logan fashion house. Will remains relentlessly vigilant, watching Hope's every move with the predatory focus of a hawk, determined to catch her in the act of sabotage and find the undeniable proof he needs to destroy her. Hope, meanwhile, is forced to operate under a suffocating cloud of suspicion, her creative process tainted by the constant, oppressive weight of her cousin's glaring distrust. The tension between them is a ticking time bomb, a volatile mixture of family loyalty, corporate ambition, and deep-seated paranoia that threatens to detonate at any moment, potentially bringing